The Dutch will vote tomorrow. They want a new prime minister over there. The leading candidate is Geert, the pronunciation gets me a little bit. I think it's Geert Wilders. Is that right? Geert Wilders. Neck and neck in the polls with the current prime minister. Come on in, please, Nigel Farage. He's the man behind Brexit, a frequent guest on this program, and a popular guest on this program, I might add. All right. First of all, I'm told that in the polls that Geert Wilders has slipped a little just in the last few days, and that maybe the populist nationalist phase in Europe is beginning to peak and maybe decline. First of all, what say you to that proposition, Nigel? And secondly, why should we in America care about a vote among the Dutch?
Well, I think the thing is that the global revolution that 16 was, with Brexit, with Trump winning, with the Italians getting rid of a prime minister in a referendum, that's going to continue. Now, that doesn't mean that every single election will produce a dramatic result. But I tell you what, if I'd said to you 4 years ago that Geert Wilders, and that is the right pronunciation, by the way, that Geert Wilders would be, with a day to go, virtually neck and neck with the Prime Minister, you would have said, I must have been smoking something funny. You know, the fact that he's there neck and neck shows you the amazing advances that have been made. So no, I think through the Netherlands, through the French elections, etc., you will see a continuance of this revolution against global governance. Why should people in America care? Well, I think that the European Union was effectively the prototype for what Hillary Clinton wanted your country to be a part of. And I think with Trump that you've escaped that. And whilst the Netherlands itself may not be of huge significance, do not underestimate the magnitude of the French presidential election process, which will end in May. This is likely to be a battle between Marine Le Pen and Emmanuel Macron. Macron, who believes in globalism, who believes in big supranational government, and Le Pen, who believes in nation-state democracy. If she was to win, the effect of that on global politics would be as big as Brexit or Trump.
Yeah, well said, Nigel. Now, President Trump is going to meet Germany's Chancellor, Angela Merkel, on Friday. Now, a frequent guest on this program is Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. He spoke very glowingly about Angela Merkel on this program, and I'm going to play you the soundbite of what he had to say about Angela Merkel. Roll tape.
Angela Merkel, whom I admire tremendously. I mean, we underestimate that woman because all Americans know is, oh, she screwed up immigration. She has been the savior of Europe during an economic crisis. She is a moral leader, and she has led the resistance to Vladimir Putin's aggression and perfidy and generally insidious behavior. So I see her as a heroic moral figure.
Savior of Europe, heroic moral figure. What says Nigel Farage?
I'll tell you what I say. When the global crisis hit back in 2008, she was the senior political figure in Europe, and she took control, basically, of the entire situation. What that meant was that ever since that day, we're living in a German-dominated Europe. And just think about history. That was the very thing the European Union project was supposed to stop. As for the saviour, well, look, maybe he's right. She did save Greece, and she saved Italy and Spain and the others because they're all still in the euro nearly 10 years on. But you know what? Real leadership would have been to recognise during that crisis that actually the Mediterranean countries were not suited ever to join the Eurozone, that it would only ever lead to mass unemployment and misery. And real leadership is to recognise when you've got something wrong rather than continuing to plough on with the same failing project. So I'm sorry, she may have been massively successful in Germany, winning election after election, and up until the immigration event, she was held in very high esteem. But frankly, if you were to use her name right now in a coffee bar in the Mediterranean, they would probably spit on the floor.
Ooh, okay. Nigel Farage telling it how he sees it. We appreciate you being here, Nigel. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you, sir.